All right, so today I'm going to show you how to use the sweep tool, and we're just going to do a very simple example of this tool and what it can do. Now, what I'm kind of thinking for the sweep tool is, if you want to make something like some kind of accessory, like a cane or like a magic wand of some kind, you want it to kind of follow a rugged path. You don't just want to extrude a square straight up. You want it to have a little bit of a shape, a little bit of some character to it. So that's kind of what the sweep tool can give us. What I'm going to do is start with our XY sketch here. So this is going to be the base, like the shape that you would then like to extrude along that path. And if we want to make something like a magic wand, I'm going to go ahead and create just a pretty simple polygon. Let's go ahead, maybe 0.5 inches, and I want like 8 sides. Pretty simple polygon. I'm going to make sure that you are constraining your sketches as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and auto constrain it because this is the size that I would like it to be. So I don't want to change anything too much. I'm not going to actually print this, but nothing too crazy. It's just a polygon. We want this to be like a magic wand or something. So we don't want it to be too complicated of a shape, but we want it to follow this rugged path. So then that's the next step, is I'm going to create a sketch on the ZY plane to create the path that will then go upward. And one thing to consider here is, because this profile down here is about an inch long, you want to make sure that your path isn't going to fold in on itself. So there should be like enough space for this profile to be swept along that path. So you don't want to create a path that looks like this with really sharp angles, because an inch isn't going to fit in this spot here or this spot here. So the sweep won't work. So instead, let's just make sure that our angles are making sense. I'm just going to go ahead with like something like this, a little bit rugged, not super even, but we don't want it to be like uneven or anything like that either. This is pretty comfortable with this. Let's add some filleting as well. Gives us a little bit of an interesting kind of look to it. Go ahead and auto constrain it. Obviously, you'd want to make sure that you're measuring out your dimensions and make sure that these make sense, because I honestly don't know if they do make sense. All right, so let's see if this works here. So let's go ahead into our sweep, and it asks us here, and I'm just doing the simplest version of what the tool can do. It asks us here for a profile. Obviously, this is going to be our profile, and then it asks us for a path, which we just drew. And when we select that path, you can see what this might look like, and you can add more to that path. It'll just kind of go up from here. It'll go in the same direction. You can trace it down and like, oh, okay, and I kind of like it here. I don't like how high up it goes here. Maybe I just want it to stop here or something like that. But this is what this would end up looking like. And you can change the distance here if you would like, the taper angles, the twist angles, and make sure that your operation, indicates what you would like it to do. So now we've got our swept looking, magic wand type of thing going on here. And then I could add some more. So, you'd probably want this to come to a point. You could add some additional sketch on here that you would then convert into an extruded point. But that is a quick demonstration of how you might use the sweep function.